So welcome to What the Bleep is Energy installment number 4. One of the things I'd like to talk to you about that we don't often realize is any conclusion you have stops the energy. Any conclusion. Any, blah. And when I talk about the energy, on the one hand, and pardon my ADHD because there it goes again, but what happens is it's not just the energy of doing a session, but that's one aspect of it. So let's talk about that for just a moment. What happens is any conclusion you have acts like a roadblock. It acts like a huge roadblock, a huge gate in front of a possibility. And the weird part is, most of us didn't naturally function from conclusion as kids. I mean, look at little kids. Look at them run around. Look at them, they fall on the concrete and they get up and they're like, whoa! Because they don't conclude that it was a problem. They don't conclude they got hurt. They just go on and live their lives. And I think one of the primary things that happens actually as kids get older, where they go from that yay, happy, free, childlike state, is they start to come to conclusion after conclusion after conclusion after conclusion. And it's something we teach them. It's something we teach them as a standard and a staple of reality here. And so we teach that to our kids in school, we teach it in our families, we teach it everywhere. And this is one of the primary things that will stop the energy from moving for you. But also the other thing about it is if you're looking at an area of your life, okay, so I need to break it into two different things, because there's the energetic session and doing that sort of energetic work, either gifting or receiving. And then there's also looking at things in your life or working with somebody outside of the sort of energetic realm, even though that's also energetic. But you get what I'm talking about, session like ESB, SOP session versus life and all the other stuff. So what happens is when you're doing a session with somebody, what you'll perceive is, I'm talking an ESB session, or a SOP session. Sorry, if you're doing one of the sessions with somebody, what happens is the energy will have this sort of nice, easy thrum to it. It'll be moving. You'll feel the world expanding into more ease, joy, and glory. And what'll happen is it'll go, and what you're up against when it has gone and stopped feels like when you're up against a roadblock, it's usually some conclusion they have, some conclusion, and usually an erroneous conclusion that they've made about their lives that is stopping them. So one of the things you can do is just go, cool, all the conclusions they have here, destroy and uncreate it, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, tris, boys and beyonds, and you'll feel the energy start moving again. And so these conclusions are huge killers. We've created huge conclusionary realities around almost anything, and we don't even realize it. So let's look in the realm outside of the energetic session that you might be doing. Let's look at your life or working with somebody. When you go to work on something and it feels like there are roadblocks, walls, what you want to do is you want to pock and pod all the conclusions and all the conclusionary realities that create this. Now, and so what you'll notice is it's like if you have a conclusion about the way money comes to you, that's the only way it can come to you. So decision, judgment, and conclusion are all sort of linked. But if you look from this realm of conclusion, because judgment, we sort of get it and that's got its own energy to it, but the conclusionary reality that we create is as sticky, if not more sticky, and most of us have never recognized it. We've thought that's my awareness. Like when you are taught, okay, this is the way the world is from your mom and dad, from teachers, etc., what happens is you come to that conclusion, you follow that throughout the rest of your life without even realizing that you've taken that on. So if you get to any roadblock, any wall, what you want to do is go, okay, all the conclusions and conclusionary realities. You can also do the DJCCs, the decisions, judgments, conclusions, and computations. Destroy and uncreate it. So you do all the DJCCs and all the conclusionary realities, destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys and beyonds. Now, I worked with our amazing worldwide coordinator, Simone, many years back. And she was having a difficulty in certain situations in the business and also in certain situations in her personal life. And yet there was nothing really there that we could really process. And what I realized was it was all the conclusions that she had been taught, all the ones that she bought, all the ones that she had come to over the course of her life that were stopping her from seeing any other possibility. So my suggestion to you, my beautiful friends, please do this, at least for the next few days, is everything that comes up that feels like a heaviness or a stuck place, any kind of wall about anything, pock and pod all the conclusions you have about it. Well, all the DJCCs you have about it, and then also all the conclusionary realities. And I think what you're going to notice is you're going to notice a lot of flow, because our conclusions are one of the primary things that stop us from the flow of the energy in our lives, of the movement of money and currency and those sorts of flows, of the receiving of love, of the receiving of caring, of the receiving of the universe. This is how we keep the universe out. Let's stop keeping the universe out. Let's allow it in and allow it to contribute to us. And the start of that is potting your DJCCs and conclusionary realities. So all the DJCCs and conclusionary realities you have that don't allow you to receive everything that I just said, will you destroy and create it, please? Times a gazillion, right? Wrong about all 9, podpoc shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, my beautiful friends, fresh from an SOP in Santa Barbara where obviously my brain is even more whoo than usual. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being in this world. What if you truly being here, the gift, the change, and the possibility this world requires? You are, and I am so grateful you are here. I look forward to seeing you in person someday. Bye.